Well, Brad, I know I asked you on Saturday night, but you guys split in Medicine Hat. How big is that for you guys?
Yeah, I think it just plants a seed of belief into our group. We're real cognizant that they're going to come out flying on Tuesday and they're going to make their push and make their adjustments. So I think it's a great accomplishment for a team. It's given us a little bit of belief here and I think some momentum that we can ride into Tuesday.
I talked to Willie after Game 2. He just said his team's not hungry enough. Are you expecting more of a push, like a different team come Games 3 and 4?
Yeah, for sure. And I think especially the first 10 minutes in Game 3, I expect them to, go look at some video and to clean some things up or adjust to what we're doing or, maybe get back to playing how they want to play. But for us, we've got to worry about ourselves, make sure that we're ready, make sure our details in our game are there, and Medicine Hat will be Medicine Hat.
Merrick was rain nets on Saturday. Do you see him starting on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think that with the win, usually you go back to back with the goalies, but I think the biggest thing for us in the playoffs is, as a coach, what I'm learning this year. Asked me the other day, what's one word to describe the year? It's a roller coaster, and just because things come up all the time where we got to be fluid, and I think that's one thing with our group that we've learned this year with our lineup, with our lines, with our goalie, that it's kind of been up next man up mentality a little bit here, and so if it has to be Tabby, then we'll be comfortable with that way too.
You mentioned post game that you challenged him to shove it up your ass and make you right putting him in game number 2. Is that something you do often, challenge your players to prove you right?
Well, I don't say like that was exactly what was said. Maybe it was more the emotion of the win, the way I described that. But I think for, he was our starting goalie. He was most of March. I thought that, he's been put in some important games, and I felt like his game slipped a little bit. That's why we played Tabby game 1, and not that we had no belief in Merrick, because we had all the belief in the world, and I told him that too, even with the back-to-back game. We have the ability to go have an A1, A-B kind of goalie situation that, having a fresher guy might make more sense. So to be ready, and, Merrick didn't pout, he didn't, his practice didn't drop off or didn't have bad body language, and I think he just stayed focused, stayed ready, and if it's a mentality of prove someone wrong, prove me wrong, and I don't think he proved me wrong. I think he just proved himself and us organization why we picked him as our team MVP, and I think he did a heck of a job, obviously.
Tell me, Willie Desjardins said post game that they wanted it more than we did. Is that the ultimate compliment you can get?
Well, that's something that we challenge our group coming to this series, because if it's not that way, it's no one's given us hope. Everyone said we're going to get swept. We're not going to keep them under 8. We've kept them under 30 shots 2 games in a row. Everyone wants to point to a 6-2 game, and anyone that was there wasn't a 6-2 game. So we missed in a couple of our momentums. They score easy. So I think we should be really proud of our group. But I think the biggest thing is us not resting on what happened in game 1 and 2, because game 3 is going to be a whole different beast, and we've got to be ready.
And is that your biggest key then? Emotion management, not riding the highs and lows and trying to keep a young group even keel?
I think the pressure's on them right now. I think we can be a little bit loose, but I think we got to be, like we said, what Willie said, is be hungry. And I think that is probably the key learning lesson for young guys in junior level, is because when pro guys skate, they can be 75% to 100% execution. When these young guys skate and they go 75, that's 75% brain power. and now you're not getting 100% execution. That's something you learn. And so for us, we need to be loose, but we need to be hungry. We need to be focused and understand that they're going to come guns a-blazing, and we just have to be mature, stick to our game, and not get sucked into, Medicine Hat Tigers hockey.
Just having the first 2 games in Medicine Hat, dealing with that crowd, and now having the crowd behind you, how much does that help your group, and does that make you more prepared for the ebbs and flows of the games, knowing that you guys are the home team and going through that emotion on the road already and dealing with those kinds of situations?
Yeah, it's something we talked about in a couple different barns this year, and I think the biggest one we really hit was when we went to Seattle, and that rink is awesome. The fans can be really intimidating, and just talk about like the fans cheering and on shots or offsides, and then as a young guy, or like the score is the score, and you're looking at the shots, you sometimes get wrapped up into the oohs and the ahs of the crowd and think, hey, we're getting overwhelmed here. Really, they're just cheering to be great crowd. So for us, we went through it a couple times this year. We knew that was going to be part of the Medicine Hat atmosphere, and I think that I believe we handled it really well.
Just what are you expecting from Pats fans Tuesday, Wednesday, and what's your message to them going into games 3 and 4?
Yeah, just thanks for sticking with us. This is kind of the end result of 2 hard years. I understand the criticism. I understand the the passion from them, and they deserve to be at playoff hockey. We feel like we've set ourselves up right here going forward for the next few years for them to enjoy lots more of these playoff runs going forward, and this is step 1. So I really hope that we can get the rink back to what it was when we had a couple of our runs there, had the Memorial Cup here. This rink, it being packed, it gives the boys extra juice, obviously, and this atmosphere that we can create when the rink is full I believe is one of the best in the WHL, and I like Medicine Hat offered that. I hope that going into Tuesday, Wednesday, that we can do that too.